Hello, good people, and welcome to Finance Skills Hub. Here, we learn, we connect, and we grow. For most Excel users, there was really no structured way to learn Excel. A bit of YouTube videos, what we learned from colleagues, troubleshooting problems. That's how most of us got here. But if you come across a very good book that gives you a structured way to learn Excel, then it's a lifesaver. I'd like to introduce you to one of these books written by fellow Excel MVP, Alan Murray. So this is Advanced Excel Formulas, a fantastic book that puts together legacy Excel and modern Excel. In fact, all the formulas that you need to master Excel are here in a structured way with very, very exciting examples. So in this short video, I'm going to just take some few examples from the logic function, and I'll show you why this book is a lifesaver. So join me and let's go through this in a few minutes.
So in this example, we are going to take a look at the if function, the switch function, and the XOR function. I'll apply these functions in a very wonderful way, giving basic, intermediate, and advanced users insights on how to use these three functions. So in this first example, let's say I want to show the result of my score. So I just want to show exciting if my score is above 75 and not too exciting if it's less than 75. I mean, beyond the usual if statement where you can assign these two labels, did you know you could also use emojis? Okay, so I'm going to write this simple if this cell is greater than or equal to 75. Okay, now instead of putting in a text label, I can press the Windows and then dot. Okay, and it brings these emojis here. Okay, so I could now put in this, okay, for exciting. So, and then I can also do same for the not too good face. Okay, so you have to put these in double quotes. Okay, so these are some of the amazing tricks that are covered. So beyond just learning about the function, there are some exciting examples. Okay, so once I do this and I copy it down, this can be very useful in your dashboard. And it must be said that if you open this file online, these are going to come colored. Okay, so one useful trick, you can also use other emojis that apply to your case study. Now, let's go to the switch function. So the switch function was introduced in 2019 and beyond. So if you have these versions of Excel, instead of nesting several if statements, you can use the switch function to save you time. It's a pretty straightforward function. Okay, so here my goal is to assign these grades based on these scores. So what the switch function does is it tests an expression, which can be any formula. Okay, we can also use true, which is mostly the common use. So it tests the expression against a list of values, okay, and then returns a result for the matching value. So in simple terms, whatever I'm going to put after this true, okay, if it evaluates to true in a particular row or value I'm testing, then the corresponding grade is returned for that particular value. Okay, so as an example, after this statement, I can select this value, okay, and then test whether it is greater than 90. Okay, if it is greater than 90, then I want A returned. Okay, so same way, I can take the same B2, okay, and then test whether it is greater than 80, then it returns a B. Okay, and then I can also test the same if it is greater than 70, okay, returns a C, and it also has an alternative result. So just like if statements, if all these do not match, then the alternative is to put in a D, right? So compare this to our if statements. This is a much elegant way to express these statements. We'll return a result for the margin value that evaluates to true. Okay, so here this is A, and then I'll copy this down, and then I have that. Okay, so again, if you are not too clear on how to use nested if statements, the switch is a fantastic alternative, and Alan captures this nicely in chapter 2 of his book. Okay, so another useful function that Alan covers in the book is the XOR function. The XOR function is available in 2013 onwards. Okay, what it does is that it performs an exclusive OR logic. Look at it as an OR function. So if I feed it with a series of logical statements, okay, what it does is that it returns true if an odd number of conditions is met, and false if an even number of conditions is met. Okay, so in this example, I want to know the people who attended exactly one workshop, only one workshop. Okay, if we have to use an if or or statements, we would have to add extra functions and arguments. Okay, but with the XOR function, okay, I can just test both cells with is blank. Okay, so I'll first test whether this is blank. That's my first logic. Okay, and then I'll test the second one whether this is blank. Okay, so here, if this returns true and that returns true, I have two true statements. Okay, and that is going to be false. Okay, this would only return true when you have an odd number of true statements. Okay, so let's test this one. So this is going to give me false, right? But if I copy this down, it's going to give me true, and so on. So with this, I can now see those who attended only one function. So now with these statements, I can now wrap this around an if statement. Okay, so if you attended only one, it should return yes. Okay, if not, right? So now if I copy this down, I have something like this, right? So these are some of the examples that Alan used, and it goes throughout all the topics.
So apart from these examples that I showed you, Alan did a fantastic job exposing users to the recent features and functions in Excel. So here, the dynamic array functions, filter, sequence, and all those ones, let, lambda. So if you're a basic Excel user, you get something out of this. If you're intermediate, you get something. Even if you're advanced, I feel this book will give you some insights that you never even thought about. Okay, so I'd really recommend this book. Grab a copy. It will save you time and help you improve productivity as well. Thanks for watching.